watch this clip here. And parents, I really want to know, how are you reacting to this exchange? Rob, is this the full clip? Go ahead and play the clip. What
I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read?
So Patrick Bet-David and the panel obliterates Joy Reid for her woke takes and her disgusting agenda. This is definitely worth the watch. Let's go ahead and get into it.
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer.
I'm pretty sure that anybody else who's covering this, oh my gosh, I have to definitely censor a lot of these words, unfortunately, but it's okay. I have had the pleasure of meeting Mrs. Tiffany Justice. She's a very good person. As time has gone on, I'm sure there are certain positions in the foreign policy sector that me and her probably don't agree with. And that's fine on my end, perfectly fine. But what this woman has done to bring awareness to what's happening in schools is something to be applauded, appreciated. And I do appreciate all of the work that Moms for Liberty has done to tell people like, go check your children's libraries. They are, they're sharing some disgusting material in there.
Please do. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No, wait, we're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me questions.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Aren't Blue?
What a question.
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Who's the main character in the book?
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe, is his first name.
Because you're giving me very specific information that is.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You just remembered very specific things.
Joy.
Here's my question.
Here's my question. You didn't answer my question.
No. I'm going to answer your
question.
Great.
I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation.
Okay.
So what I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert, in this book,
I don't have to be an expert to know that dildos aren't appropriate for public school. I mean, come on, let's get real.
Is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience.
I cannot believe
Why
this
is it your right
sold
or a
on
Moms
TV.
for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author,
MSNBC. This is embarrassing.
Why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance,
God.
or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about incest, rape, and pedophilia.
And each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read. So I want you to answer. I'm going to ask you one more time.
Right.
What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story, why don't they have the right? Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means that they have either been raped by a family member, they've experienced
and your proof
rape.
of that is what?
You just said that if a child feels seen by this story. What I'm saying, Joy,
you're now making assumptions.
No, Joy, but if a child has been raped, you should do a lot better than put a book in the library.
She can't be this ignorant. You can process at this point.
Okay, be honest.
So I had to let that play because I usually, I would have cut in about like a good 15 times, but it was much necessary for me to let that play because I need you to see this disgusting woman. Like, Joy Reid is disgusting, okay? Now, we're going to get back to the network that allowed her to talk like this, right? But first off, thank you guys for watching this episode. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I am grateful to every eye that falls on these episodes. Now, coming back to it, Joy Reid is absolutely disgusting. You couldn't pay me enough. Yes, okay. It could for the person who says yes, you could. No, I've struggled. I know what it is to struggle. I have people around me. If ever I need some help, they'll be there for me, right? If for some reason, if this was the only job that I could have in the world, I would just rather I would rather not have a job. I am so sincere. We are talking about the kids. So again, I go back to you couldn't pay me enough to defend the type of debauchery, the type of filth that are in these books that are coming to the schools now. You know, like, you could not pay me enough. You know, kids' minds are so, oh my Jesus God, so like innocent. You know, these people are disgusting. They are advocating for dirtying the minds of children. Jesus, like it. I have to stop saying Jesus' name in vain, but this is just too much. Like, she's disgusting, because she does it, and the way she's doing it, it's not even like she's doing it with you know, some sort of maybe like a hesitance. Maybe she would have been like, you know, I mean, what do you think? I mean, should we be banning books? I mean, I don't know. There's kind of, no, she's going hard. She's bringing up all this stuff. She thinks she's right. But what it is that she's so embedded in hate that it makes her able to promote this, to do this thing, because she wants Tiffany's kids to read those books and get all confused and destroyed because the white woman has had too much privilege. And yes, that is where this ideology, this hate ideology, it can take you there. It is disgusting. I heard Joy Behar say it the other day, oh, Republicans do bad policies anyway for families, so let them keep doing it. Like, there's no world where I don't even hate Joy Reid enough to want her kids to read that disgusting filth in schools, right? What are we doing? This has gone far beyond, little left ring, right ring. This is like, we have a problem here. MSNBC, whoever owns the network, is disgusting too, because she would have been suspended. Why is this story being spread? Why is this allowed to be talked about? If a child sees themselves in the book, are you serious? So why don't we just put 50 Shades of Grey in the libraries? Why is it all the time when it's like, oh, but LGBT students, we have to have debauchery? So let's put some 50 Shades of Grey. What's going on? This is crazy. People like, man, this is insane, man. This is where we've gotten to in this world.
You're
She can't be this ignorant.
Story behind at this point.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you think she's that stupid?
That's so unprofessional. That's so unprofessional. I don't care, but it is.
No.
Or this
not.
is the narrative, because, by the way, let's not forget by the way, never trust anybody that's hair looks like this to make any decisions about anything about you and your kids. What she's doing right here is one of the reasons people like me always think that the left is always over-sexualizing kids and doesn't care about topics like this. And that's why everybody's always like, dude, what is she talking about? What is she even talking about? And let's not forget who Joy Reid is. She's the one, remember on the panel with Bill Maher when Ann Coulter was like, Donald Trump's the, what's it called? She made that face like, she's an idiot. There's no way she could think like
Tom,
this.
when you hear this logically, when you hear this, a host of a brand, MSNBC, saying it's okay for a book with dildos and
pedophilia.
Well, how do you process this as a parent, Tom?
So Joy Reid is the pathetic mouthpiece of the left that wants to sexualize children and wants to make sure that onboarding and grooming materials are present on the shelves of libraries and public schools. It's as simple as that. They want the stuff on there. They want the progressive sexualization of kids.
So, and I need you to hear that. So you have people who will say, but, oh, okay, is it all the schools? You know, look, okay, I was born here. I'm American. I love this country. I'm not as American as apple pie, right? But because he like, but what do you mean? But no, I love this country in a sense where I love the opportunities that the Lord has blessed me with this country. There are still parts of the country I definitely love. I love going out into the rural areas and everything. Okay, so here's why I'm saying this, right? I need Americans to stop waiting for, to be Avengers. Why can't we be pre-Vengers? We're always Johnny-come-latelys to a serious crisis, especially with this one, because I have been on panels with people who say, is it that deep? Because, it's not all the schools, so we have to wait till it's all the schools to try to turn things around. I wish we were paying attention to things when it was starting off in the beginning. Maybe we wouldn't have had weapons of mass destruction. I don't know. Maybe our American brothers and sisters wouldn't be sent overseas to wars that they shouldn't be fighting, whatever, right? When there are signs placed in front of you that something is happening and brewing, why not nip it at the bud before we even get to a whole bush? I just don't understand it, right? Because somebody will be like, well, not all in schools. Not all. That is such a weak argument.
That's the purpose here. Now, I happen to think that this woman could have done better for herself, I would have known the author, I would have known his date of birth, I would have known the name of the publisher, and I would have fired back at her pretty hard on those. So I think she could have been a little bit more informed and kind of fought back against it. But Joy Reid's whole angle here is to discredit her. That's all she's trying to do. She was not arguing even for the book. She's just trying to discredit the other side. I'm interviewing you. You're not interviewing me, meaning I'm here to ask a bunch of questions to discredit you. But all I see is a mouthpiece for the left to advocate to putting this stuff on the shelves in public schools to allow kids to have access to it, to act on their curiosities or act on their depression.
Adam.
That's her job here.
Adam.
Look, it's becoming clearer and clearer who she is. You know, she's going to reap what she sow. I just Googled Joy Reid just to kind of see what's popping up. If you Google Joy Reid, do it right now. The first
All right, I'll take it back. Sorry. I was being a professional. Sorry.
thing that pops up is Joy Reid strap-on. So congratulations, Joy. This is now the word associated
Don't
with
Google
your name.
strap on, Robert.
Is that a
No,
wait a minute?
just Joy
I
Reid.
was
That's the
about
first thing
to
that
Google
pops
strap
up.
on Joy Reid.
Okay, so they're saying it too much. They're gonna hit an algorithm on this thing that's gonna freak me out and freak out YouTube. But the point is, anyway, the point is that we really need to. This has to stop. Like, I keep saying stuff like this has to stop, but like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I just don't know what else to say because, in a real society, Joy Reid wouldn't be allowed to say these kind of things. Or even, okay, fine, I believe in freedom of speech, but as soon as you heard somebody fighting for a book like that, you would be like, go get her checked out or something. I don't know, man. Like, I'm getting a little, on the tyrannical side, aren't I? But I'm just feeling like, to save the kids, I almost feel like nothing's off the table. Sorry. I would be good with the powers, right? No, but that's how I feel because, like, man, who are protecting these children? Who's protecting these kids? Also, I get what Tom is saying. Like, Tiffany should have been ready with the name and all that with the author. I would have looked at the camera and I would have been like, "Listen, I don't care if Big Bird wrote this book. It should not be in schools. You're asking me about the author. Why don't you get the author here and you can interview the author and you guys can chat all about children who get destroyed." And have a little cup of tea and with some biscuits with him. But me, I don't care what his name is. That's how, see, you got to be ready to answer abroad like Joy Reid. You have to be ready to meet her right where she's at. Oh, do you know the name? Do you know? I just talked about a bunch of filth that's in this book and you worried about the author's name? Joy, what's going on? Are you okay? What? You got to come in fighting. Tiffany did pretty good, but you got to fight a little harder because these people, they will do, it's a semantical argument, right? It's like, what's the author's name? I want to see how much you know. It's just like, bro, you're not at all being any kind of genuine at all. You're just wanting to win, and she's full of hate. That's why she was able to do this with a straight face. Joy Reid has been hateful for a very long time. She's very miserable. It doesn't matter how she gets her hair done. Her hair is always a mess. And yes, I'm going to say that even when she got braids, she got the wrong kind of, but she couldn't get some simple individuals. The girl's been a mess for a while, and I have no respect for her.